All right. Well, hey, everybody, welcome to The Sound. I'm Donna, and I am so excited that you've joined us again, or if it's your first time for this episode. I'm so excited to have my friend here, Melissa. Oh my gosh, I'm going to mess it up. Constancio.
Constancio.
Yes, with me today, and she's going to share her story in just a few moments. I just want to remind you that if you haven't yet subscribed to this channel, please do so. Hit that like button, subscribe, share this with your friends, with your families, with anybody that you think can use an encouraging word and that needs a little pick me up. I think you're going to find some encouragement from Melissa's story today. And don't forget, so please, it helps us with the algorithms and be lifted up here on the YouTube channel, and so that we can reach more people. That's the whole point. We need to reach more people with words of encouragement, and so we just need your help to do that. Don't forget to comment too. Want to hear what you think, and maybe share some of your stories that you've been through. And let's get going. Eventually, we're going to do some lives on here so that we can also do some live chats. But anyway, all right. So Melissa,
Yes,
how you doing today?
I'm doing good.
Good, good.
I like that algorithm. I can't even say it either.
Well,
Oh,
Melissa, why don't you start off and just give us a little bit of a background on who Melissa is, where you've come from, whatever you
um,
want to share with us.
well, I was, I guess, my mom and dad had got married, and not long after they had gotten married and stuff, um, they didn't last, so they were gonna get a divorce, and my mom found out she was pregnant with me. So um, I was born, to a, a William Herschel Pritchett Jr. in Amarillo, and my mom, Sue Horton, Glenna Sue Horton of um, Canadian. So my mom went to school here and graduated and everything, was in the band, so I, you know, my grandparents and everything, so
Would
I'm
you,
from around here, you
I
know.
was going to say, would you consider that, you had to you like a normal childhood or
Well, yeah, I mean, I did. I
whatever
mean,
that is?
yeah,
Whatever.
whatever normal is
Yes,
anymore, I don't know,
exactly, right?
but
Yeah.
it has to be, it has to be something,
Mhm.
But I make it whatever I am, whatever I want that normal to be, I do it,
Yeah.
That uh, I guess, my mom was a transportation officer, so we lived in Amarillo, and my mom left there and moved to Stinnett, and that's where she was and everything.
Is that in
And
Texas? Is that in Texas?
yes,
Okay.
Stinnett, Texas, yeah.
Okay.
And then she ended up moving back down this way, you know, and she had my two kids and uh, moved to Higgins, and that's where they lived for I don't know how many years, a long time,
Mhm. So
And
how many in your family? How many children?
oh, well, there's me and I got two brothers.
Oh,
One
okay.
lives in One lives in Shattuck, Oklahoma, and the other one lives in Amarillo or Canyon.
So you were the
Yeah,
only girl. You were the only girl.
yes,
And were
yes.
you and where were you in that? Were you youngest?
I was the oldest.
Oh, me too. Me too.
Yeah,
Okay.
I was the oldest, and then my dad remarried. My mom's best friend.
Okay.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah, everybody has a
Yeah,
story. Everybody has a story.
yes, yes, they do. And like, wow, okay, you know. And they had two boys, so I was caught on either side.
You had surrounded by all brothers. Okay. How
Yes,
was
I
that?
did.
How was that? Was that
I had to start fighting for everything I got, you know.
You learned to stand up for yourself. Yep. Okay.
Well, yeah, but I was like a shy kid, you know. I was shy.
Mhm.
Um, I I mean, I could go in 1 year. I know for Christmas I got like a Barbie house and a Jeep and you know, a couple of new Barbies. So I was playing with those at 4 o'clock in the morning. My mom goes, "You're supposed to be asleep." You know, I'm like, no, I want to play Barbies. That's all, you know, I play Barbies by myself, you know.
I
I
gotta
didn't
ask you
have
about, I have to ask you about that though, because I always hear stories about women who had all brothers and they had their Barbies and their brothers always like destroyed their Barbies. And they always cut their hair.
no,
Did your brothers do that?
no, no.
Oh,
And my
good.
brothers didn't do that for some reason because I played trucks with them also.
Oh, okay. So they, okay, I got it. They knew they were
Yeah,
smart. All
yeah,
right.
yes.
So
I think that
yeah,
was it. I made little roads and everything, so it was kind of cool, you know.
yeah. So okay, so you grew up in Texas and
Yes.
go on. Let's hear give us your story because
Okay.
again this channel again is for those who have a story of overcoming and who believe that their story will be able to encourage others to be overcomers. So
Okay.
go ahead, let us.
Um, okay, well, anyways, I was in Amarillo, you know, I was up there, I was going, I was like homeless. I was going from different places, staying and stuff, and um, ones that wanted me to stay with them were freaking guys, and
So
I
how,
ended up just that's how I ended up being homeless is because I didn't want to have to put up with that, you know. A, a,
with
a,
what
fe-
with what?
a female shouldn't have to put up with if a guy wants her to stay over at his house that there's something attached to that, you know.
Okay,
It
yeah,
shouldn't be like that,
right. No,
you know.
no. So how old were you when you
No,
became homeless? How old were you?
I was I was in my 30s.
Okay, so there was a time
I
period
was like,
between,
yes.
okay,
And I mean, we, yeah, uh, we had like, also we lived in Huntsville, Texas for a while,
okay,
and I was a party goer, you know.
okay.
I I was partying all the time, and we
Mhm.
moved to Amarillo because that's where my mom got transferred with the TDC. That's where she asked for a transfer to Amarillo, and so she got it. And we spent like 2.5 years in Huntsville. This was after I graduated, and
Mhm.
we lived in Amarillo for a little bit. I graduated in 90.
Okay. So
So
after you graduated, you continued to live with your mom, or is that when you moved
yes,
out? Okay.
yes.
And so then how did you become homeless? Like what happened
Well,
that with your
uh,
mom?
okay. How I became homeless was I ended up in Amarillo somehow. I think it was because I couldn't stay with any, uh, because um I didn't want to have to put up with staying at somebody's house, you know. So
So you couldn't
if
stay
I
with your
could,
mom anymore? You couldn't stay
I'd
with
stay
her?
with my mom anymore. And mom didn't even live here in town anymore.
Okay.
So um, I there's this place that, in the morning you could go and you could get something to eat and get a lunch for later on and stuff. So I would do that and
So did you,
everything.
I'm
So
sorry, I didn't want to
it,
interrupt you. So did you live on the
that's
street?
okay.
You said you're homeless.
Yeah,
So where, you,
yeah, I would. I slept underneath uh, a semi truck trailer for a little bit.
wow. Okay.
And then I found this abandoned trailer. And I kind of made it like this room,
Hmm.
a place where I would, you know, go to sleep and stuff,
Yeah.
And I'm like, you know, I was thinking everything was cool. You put it in your head when you're living like that it's normal for some reason,
Well, I
you
think,
know?
yeah, you think you do what you feel like you have to do in order to feel
Yeah,
safe or to have a place that you are safe from the elements, of the cold or what, well, you're in Texas, I don't know how,
yeah.
but
But I mean,
heat.
um, it had, there was a bed in it, and like I said, I made it into a little place of my own and stuff,
Okay. So at
and
this time, how were you spending your days and how, like,
well,
what kept you
I
homeless at that point?
what kept me homeless was I I got into um something I shouldn't have. I got an addiction,
Okay.
and so
And
I started, like being homeless, and that's how it started,
okay,
and it got, you know, it
sure.
got I got an addiction, a drug addiction.
Okay.
So
Can I ask which drug, or I mean it's up to you.
yeah, that's sure that's cool. Yeah, it was methamphetamine.
Okay. Okay.
So
That's hard.
at the time, I mean, like when I was younger, my mom used to come and check on me right when I was little and stuff in school, and I would just. My mom said she would looking on me and stuff,
Mm-hmm.
the teacher would have me sitting at a table by myself and and playing while the other kids were doing work and everything. And
Mm-hmm.
my mom would ask her and stuff. And what it was is that we've come to find out recently and stuff, well, it hasn't been recently, but Nene, my grandson, that's what we call him, is Nene.
Mm-hmm.
He has autism.
Okay.
So he's autistic.
Okay.
And guess who we got it from? Me.
So have you been diagnosed with on the autism spectrum
Yeah.
more recently in your adult life?
Yes.
Yes. Well,
And
okay.
that's why I guess when there people in Amarillo would make fun of me,
Hmm.
down me, you know, I mean,
Sorry. Yeah. Well,
yeah, make fun of me.
and back then there really wasn't any talk of that.
When I was a little kid, there wasn't such things as
Right.
autism, and
Right.
nobody knew about it.
Right. And so they
You
didn't know
know?
how to handle you.
Yes,
And so they stuck you there playing instead of teaching you,
playing and
or
stuff. Yeah,
yeah, I'm sorry.
and
Wow.
thank you. I mean, I
Yeah,
guess
that's
that's
tough.
why how I learned kind of by playing by myself was okay, because the teacher did it.
Well, there's a whole system of learning through play. There's this
Yes.
whole idea of learning through play that everybody learns different. I'm a teacher, was a teacher
Mhm.
from, and I'm definitely was never taught in the public schools. I started my own little school, and someday I might talk about that. But I
Oh,
believe that
cool.
each person learns different, and the way that our public
Yes.
school system is set up, it's not set up for the individual. It's as a one stop shopping kind of thing. But we won't get into all that.
Yeah.
But
Yeah.
so you
One stop
were
shopping.
so you were an outcast, if you want to use that word, from
Yes.
the time you were
Yes.
going to school. And then so okay, so
It's
you started to say that when you were homeless, you would go places, and I know there are places that you can go for lunch or for dinner.
yes.
Were there
Yeah.
any other kind of services offered to you or that you participated in, or you know,
Well, yeah, there was whoops. I have jewelry bag sticking to me.
oh, we could talk about that later. Yeah, because that's part of your
Yeah.
journey. Yeah.
Um I I there was like Catholic Family Services. They would help with glasses. There was like there was Salvation Army. You could go stay at Salvation Army. There was Bay City Mission. You could go there.
Mhm.
You
So,
know,
so
that's.
how do you remember, like, how long were you homeless? Like, do you,
I mean, up until let's see. Um, actually, um, I was. I. I. Like I said, I got into the addiction and stuff, and this happened when I was like in my 30s when I first started it. Okay.
wow. Okay.
And yeah, and I was into it and stuff. And it got to a point where, and I started doing it to start with is because I was an outcast, you
Mhm.
know, and I felt like that. And, I thought, well, maybe this would make me like be
Better.
cool and stuff or something.
Make you feel
But
better. Yeah.
yeah, made me feel better. And I went, I guess it was, I mean, I had a few boyfriends here and there and, nothing serious.
Right.
But um, like in 2015, I guess it was in 13, I think. Yeah. In 13, I caught a charge
Mhm.
and uh, I I had I was put on like probation, so I did that.
And you were still
Uh,
homeless? You were still homeless
and
at
I was yeah,
okay.
but I was trying. I got into this program at the Salvation Army. I can't remember what it was called,
Okay.
Hope or something. I think it was called.
Okay.
And I was going through these, uh, you know, and but I know it. No, it wasn't. My bad. It was called ARAD.
Okay.
It was called ARAD. Yeah, and we would leave in the morning and go and to this building, in town. Uh, I can't remember where in Amarillo it was,
Yes.
but yeah,
And so
you
what did
know,
you do? What did you do there? What,
we would like it would be like kind of like a class, we would go and we would have to do stuff and assignments, and we would have to like talk and everything. And
like a
I,
counseling? What, did you get
yeah,
counseling while you're there?
yeah,
And so
yeah.
I'm going to ask you, during this time,
Mm-hmm.
were you still using at this?
No,
Okay.
no, at this time, this was like 2013.
Mhm.
and I stopped using, you
So how
know.
did that go? How did that happen? Did you just
Yeah.
made a decision to
No, I was in jail for a while. I
okay.
was in jail.
So the
Yeah.
first time that you were given probation and then
Yes.
and then
Well, see, what happened was I caught the charge and I went to jail and I was in jail for like 3.5, 4 months,
Mhm.
something like that. I was in there for a while
Yeah.
and I went to court and
Mhm.
I got put on probation.
Oh, okay.
So,
Okay.
yeah, so I was put on probation
Mhm.
and I was let go, you know, and so that I went to the Salvation Army
Mhm.
is where I went, you know. I
Okay.
didn't I didn't want to go anywhere else, you know.
Yeah.
So I
Yeah.
went there.
Okay.
And that's when I got into that program, ARAD, and
Okay.
I was in there for a while, you know.
Mhm.
So I got to stay there at the Salvation Army for like 3 months or something like that.
Okay.
And at the time uh I was I was married and I he caught a charge also and he got his probation revoked.
Okay.
So I mean I did too. No, I didn't. N- no, that's another story. But
So you kind of had these ups and downs.
yeah, and it's like I kind of like something happened and I started using again. I can't remember what happened,
Yeah.
but I started using again. So I kept coming up dirty on my UAs at the probation. So uh, I went to this other program, and the guy that I was married to, he was bouncing here from there to this person's house, to that person's house, and
Mhm.
doing whatever he wanted to. I didn't really care anymore, you know.
Mhm. Yeah.
So
When can I ask you, Melissa, when you were in prison,
well, see, I didn't go to prison
jail,
until
or
yeah,
was it
I didn't go.
was
I
it like,
went to county, but no, I
yeah,
did go to TDC.
and what's
I
that?
went
What's that?
when I yeah when I started using again and with the 30 UAs and everything.
Yeah.
I went to this other place in Childress. Yeah, it was Plainview. Yeah, it was Plainview. And while I was there, and my probation officer called me and told me that when I got back to town, that my probation was going to be revoked. Okay. And this was in uh, 2013 or 15. It was 2015 at the time
Okay.
and stuff because me and my husband were together for uh, ex-husband about 2.5 years or something like that. So,
So
but
when you,
then
I'm sorry, go ahead. I didn't mean to cut you off.
that's okay. And then in Amarillo, I was I got a ride to Amarillo and um a guy that lived in these little houses, you know, you could rent them and stuff, 1 bedroom, 2 bedroom, or whatever.
Right.
Me, my ex-husband had rented one, and so we were. This guy had stayed, so he's the one that came and got me and took me to Amarillo. And so while I was there, I guess I must have said something in my sleep or something because he was acting weird, you know.
Hmm.
And I next thing I know, he was getting, you know, like getting me a motel room, and that's where, you know, I stayed at least like a good week, you know.
Okay.
So I didn't have to worry about things for like a week, you know,
Hmm.
which was good. Uh, but I had started using, and I ended up getting with uh, the this guy and stuff. But at the same time, I'm on the run too. Okay. I'm
Okay.
on the run
Okay.
because I didn't see. I was supposed to go from that place, that rehab place, back to Amarillo and turn myself in, but I never did. So
Okay.
I was on the run for like 6.5, 7 months.
Wow.
So yeah. And
So,
what caught me was as I was walking to the freaking store to get something to drink,
yeah.
and a cop pulled me over, told me I was swerving. I'm like, I'm not even driving, it's me.
You were walking funny. How
Yes, I was. So
do you
that's how I got.
so how do you look back on those times? Like what do you feel about them? Like what?
Well, see, and since okay, well, because of that, when they finally caught me,
Yeah.
thing, uh, I got my, like I said, my probation was revoked, and I went to TDCJ for a while. Um,
That for people that don't know what that is that a prison, like a state prison?
it's a Texas Department of Criminal Justice, yeah.
Okay. Okay.
So they have this a thing. It's called like Safe,
Okay.
and it's for like it's like a 6 month program, and then there's like a if you have medical issues or something like that, it's
Okay.
like I think like 9 months is what I
Okay.
think.
Okay.
I'm
Was it
Yeah,
like a rehab?
in a rehab place,
Yeah.
yeah.
Okay.
And you're around 60 or 50 something other women.
Okay.
You have to learn how to adjust to them.
Yes. 50
And
other.
some of them made fun of me, like always,
Yes.
you know.
Yeah.
But
How did you get through these times? I mean,
oh my gosh,
obviously I know that you used the drugs and the drugs helped you and
yeah,
you thought. Um,
yeah,
but then, when you're finally, I mean, was there a point when you were finally like at the end of your rope and saying, I can't do this anymore? Or
yeah,
yeah,
yeah.
tell us about
It
that.
was because
Was it when you were
I
in there?
found,
Was it
huh?
was it when you were in the rehab or no?
No, it was like before, it's like a couple nights before I actually got caught,
So you
going to the store that
okay.
I was actually like, like saying, oh my God, I can't do this anymore, you know.
Yeah, so you came to that point in your life and then
Yes.
so then you get
Where I,
into this, you get caught,
where
you get in the program.
yes. Ouch. Sorry, I'm moving.
That's okay. What was the turning point then? What was the next thing that maybe that happened? Was it a process or was it just this like I'm not doing this anymore? I can't do this anymore. How did you handle all that?
I mean, I guess God knows me better than I think he does,
Yeah, for
And
sure.
and I was just saying, oh God, I can't do this no more, and I can't. And I know that he you know, it's like when you can't do something, he put something else in the way
Mm,
to an obstacle, perhaps getting picked up maybe was the obstacle.
maybe that was the turning point.
Yeah.
So
And
when you were young,
yeah,
because you're bringing up that you have this faith of and you were crying out to the creator when you
yeah,
were younger. Did you have any belief or were you
yeah. I mean, we went to church. My mom took us to church,
okay, so you
and
had that
yeah,
in you. Okay. Okay.
yeah. We actually one time we lived in Sarah, Oklahoma one time, you
Mhm.
know, and uh, we lived in this house. It was in the country, but there was a house across the street from us.
Hmm.
And I, they were an older couple, but they were nice.
Yeah. Yeah.
But yeah, there was a church like up the road from us, so I would go to we my mom would take us to church there and stuff. So
Okay. So you did have this inside of you and you did believe,
yeah,
you do believe. So you get to this rehab program, and then you come out, and so then how do you move forward in your life, or did you? What happened when you came out of rehab?
well, what happened was is now I got with my ex-husband and
As we
that's
most
what
do.
happened.
Okay.
Yeah.
So,
I don't think if I ever got with him, I think I would have been okay, you
okay.
know?
Okay. Yeah.
Um,
So
because
you
I
went.
had it going, you know, I had
Yeah.
a good job and everything.
Okay.
And, you know, yeah,
Okay. So that was not good for you, but you went back to what you knew was familiar, which is
yes,
what happens to a lot of us. We go back to the
yes,
familiar because we don't know what to do to move forward, or
no,
we're afraid to move forward because it is the unknown. It is unfamiliar to us. So,
yes, it
um,
is
so
very,
I know that you, and I don't want to make this too long because I know people's attention spans are short.
yes.
But so what was then your turning point after? So you were with him for how much longer were you with him? Do you
Not very long, because it's like we were living in the
remember?
same house, but he was living his life and I was living my life.
Sure.
And and that's just the way it was. And he came home one night. He came back over there where we were living, and he got some clothes and he disappeared again.
Mm. Okay.
So I'm like, okay. So got I started locking the door and going out the back door.
Okay.
So, that's how I started doing it, and he wasn't smart enough to figure that out. Gosh. But
That's funny.
yeah, it was. I would be just laughing at myself, and people would be looking at me like, okay, but
So what
oh,
so what did you do to move yourself forward then? To move forward in your life? Because obviously you're not homeless anymore. Um,
well, actually, after I left him and stuff, and I had, uh, well, I went to that other place. That other place, it was in Plainview.
mhm.
So, I had a bus ticket, and so, uh, uh, let's see, what was it? Martha's Home had gotten me a bus ticket to Plainview, so that's how I got there,
Okay.
and they were there to pick me up,
Okay.
so I went to that. It was like 30 days, and
Okay.
I was almost done with the program because I spent like Thanksgiving there,
Mhm.
and so when uh like I said, that one guy that lived lived in the where we lived at in these little houses, in Amarillo.
Okay.
Um, I called him and he came and got me.
Okay.
So, but as soon as I got back to Amarillo, I started using again.
Mm.
So
So that's been a
there,
struggle. How long has it been since you have used?
it's it's been a while.
Mhm.
Um, like back in March, like my mom had a stroke, so I had to. I've been clean for a while. I just have to overcome. a lot of obstacles that get in my way and
Mhm.
everything. And I try to have a mindset of doing something different instead of doing the same old thing,
Mm.
expecting the same results, because
Yeah.
when they say when you have an addiction that drugs, institutions, or death, jails, institutions, or death,
Mhm.
you're either going to get catch a charge, or they're going to think you're crazy enough you're going to be in an institution, or
Mhm.
you're going to die from it, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
So
You,
I now, I'm
do,
like, oh
do
my
you
God, there's no way, there's no way. Um, because when I got out of TDC, my mom was the I went to a halfway house in Amarillo, and when I got out of it was in April of 2015, and I went to Amarillo to a halfway house, and I spent 3 months there.
Mhm.
And in July, after actually, it was after the 4th of July. It was the 5th. Yeah. My mom came, she was in Amarillo, and picked me up, and I went home, and I was there, and yeah, I relapsed, but
Mhm.
um after my mom had her stroke, things have been I'm like, things are different, nobody really uh associates with me anymore, or anything like that.
And that
Uh
might be
I'm kind of
that might be a good thing that those people that you were
Yes, it's
involved
a good
with.
thing.
Yeah. So
Yeah.
maybe I wonder if how much of your desire to help your mom or to get your focus off of, excuse me, yourself and on just helping someone else has helped you
Yeah.
to move forward. Is that
Uh,
accurate, do you think? Or
yeah, because like with my mom, um, see, it's like my dad, um, my dad has passed away already,
Mhm.
and he passed away back in, oh man, it was while I was locked up, actually.
Okay, so it's been a while.
Yeah,
So
and
so she
he,
doesn't go ahead.
yeah, he died, and so my mom, the lieutenant let me call my mom, and I got to talk to her.
Mhm.
And she said, when I get done with all this, that I'll be coming home. And I'm thinking, I'm going to come home? Oh my God. You know how
Wow.
long it's been since I've been home?
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
And
Oh, I
I,
bet you were just so thrilled, right?
yes, I was so happy.
It was a
um,
journey. Wow.
yeah.
Do
So, I
you
mean,
go ahead? Go ahead.
no, I mean, um, that's why my mom, that's why she was there to pick me up instead of me having to wait, because, you know, I'm not, uh, I wasn't gonna go and do anything because I was still on probation. They reinstated my probation, so I was on probation still. So
Mhm.
I've had to, like, cross my T's and dot my I's.
Yeah, I know. I understand. Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
And so it's
can I ask you, do you consider yourself still an addict or do you consider yourself free and clean or how do you look at yourself now?
I
Like this present
it's a
moment,
struggle. It's
it
a
is a
struggle.
struggle. Okay.
It's a struggle. It's a struggle,
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
mean,
And you said
because
that you're one thing that you said that really caught my attention and it really has been
yeah,
a common thread with everybody that I'm interviewing is the mindset. and the faith.
Mm-hmm.
The mindset of I have to change my way of thinking, or I have to think of a different way, or I cannot let these negative thoughts, the negative things happening in my life overcome me. And I have to believe. And I hear that in you as well. I mean, because you did say that. And it's like,
Yeah.
that's such a common thread for people, is to take the thoughts captive and cast aside those. I mean, the book, the scriptures, if you're a believer and you read the Bible, that's what
Mm-hmm.
it says. And so I heard you say that, and I was like, wow, that is to have that mind shift, and to even understand that we have these minds that will, I heard somewhere, somebody that studies the brain and the mind, and that there is this part of us that we are naturally kind of inclined to the negative thinking. So we have to
Yeah.
train ourselves, right? So we have to
Yes.
train ourselves. So okay, so because we're getting a little bit long, I have to end
Okay.
soon, but I want to ask you, okay, so that's fair. I'm thankful that you have said, when I've asked you, what do you think? It's a struggle. It's still a
It
struggle.
is.
And
Yeah.
so you have to do things, and you have to think in a certain way to pull you forward, to pull you away from that. And being there with your mom has been a time that makes
Yeah.
you
Because
feel good, you
yeah.
know?
Yes. It makes. Well, see, I live. Me and my kids. I have two kids, a boy and a girl,
Okay.
and I have a grandson.
Hmm.
Uh, and my mom. We all live together,
Hmm.
and we have fur babies.
Okay.
Yes.
Yes.
And my grandma lives in town. Lives here in town also.
Wow.
So yeah. So uh,
So
we
that's so important. That's so important to have that. We were built for community. We were,
yes.
you know, and so when you try to isolate yourself and do things alone, it doesn't
Yeah.
usually turn out too well. So
I have
that's,
a daughter that won't let me do that no more. So,
yeah, I understand. I understand.
and I got into making jewelry.
I was going to ask you, so tell us what
Yes.
you're doing now, because this is
Well,
I know a little bit about what you're doing, and I know you're a hard worker. You do
yes.
work.
I still I work at the I work at the hotel still,
Mhm.
and uh I don't do housekeeping anymore. I work the front desk.
Okay.
So
Congratulations.
I've been doing that for a while. I work the night audit of
Oh.
all shifts, the night audit. But it's okay, you
Yeah.
know.
Yeah.
I had it pegged down, but since I hurt my knee and stuff, I've been off for a little bit. So I
Yeah.
worked maybe 2 nights and I was out of working. So
Yeah.
I we ended up while I was out for my knee, we ended up getting COVID and
Mhm.
getting all of us had pink eye.
More setbacks, right? But these seem to be like, this
Yes.
is life. That's the other thing, is that we have to learn that life is not perfect. And that
No, it's
can come with
not.
us. But anyway, so
And
you're making jewelry.
yes,
Very nice.
I got into like making charm bracelets.
Okay. Very nice.
And yeah, well, thank you. I started doing that and I still make the regular bracelets.
That's
And
pretty. I like that
yeah,
color. Nice.
well, thank you. Yeah. Uh, uh, we have this festival here in town. It's called fall foliage. It's fall foliage, you know.
Mhm.
And there's like different stuff to do during the day and everything. And it's like Saturday and Sunday.
Mhm.
So my knees hurt, okay? And I just got off my crutches, you
Okay.
know. And so I I thought my grandma was gonna go set up a table too
Yeah.
on the 21st. It was Saturday the 21st. And I'm thinking, okay, so well, I ended up going up there by myself.
Oh,
And
okay.
and so I set up everything. Just just a girl here in town was helping me set up and everything, and uh, I didn't tell her, but she was taking everything out of the little bag, so I was having to put stuff back in the bags.
No.
So, but
So,
I was
do you have a website or anything, or how do people, if people want to
um
purchase any of your jewelry, we can put
well,
it, I
actually,
can actually put a link below if you have anywhere that people
hmm,
can contact you to or like
actually
a
I
Facebook.
have. Yeah, I'm on Facebook. I have actually a Facebook group is called Melissa's Jury Box.
Oh,
Is
cool. Okay. Well,
Yeah,
we'll definitely put the link below in the description. I'll get that link from you after we get off.
okay.
And
Yeah. Also, I never had a link or anything for my jewelry ever. I've always had like I I also make like anklets and uh but I run across someone every once in a while. Oh, I like that. Can you make one for
Mhm.
me?
Yeah.
Sure.
So just
You know,
so locally.
yeah.
Well,
And
I'd love to get your information out there when,
okay,
well, in closing,
okay.
and I know that, this is going to encourage someone. If you just in a couple of words to finish, how would you encourage people who may be struggling with addictions or homelessness or in any way, what kind of
Well,
help could you give them?
well, that um that you know um you know but for one thing is that if everybody does know somebody that does have an addiction and stuff, you know what, they're still people. We're
Mm,
still people,
yes.
you know and we can still have our feelings hurt and everything else. We're just the person, but you know at
Yeah.
at the time, we're doing something else, helping us. So we think in our minds coping with it and stuff, but it's actually not.
Right.
It's just making everything worse.
Mhm.
And that they're, you know, still people, and they're still hurting, and it's like, uh, don't forget about them, you know?
Mm.
And
Yeah.
um, yeah,
That's a good
and that,
word. Don't forget, because a lot of times we do push people off to the side because, and it's, after so many times of maybe trying to help someone and you're like, well, they just don't want my help and I'm just going to, and sometimes we have to do that, but we don't ever forget about the person. And
yeah,
even if we just keep them in our prayers and not just, but that's a big thing. But
but the same thing on the same thing, it's like, if it's the fifth time, or something like that, that you go and help somebody or something, I, n- my mom did it 100th time helping me, you
mm,
know,
and that was the time.
and yeah, and it's like, my mom, if I went back and started doing stuff again, my mom would still be right there with me,
Mm,
you
wow.
know?
That's love. That's true love.
Yeah,
Well, Melissa, thank you so much for sharing your story. It's been
you're welcome.
just
I
to really enjoy getting to know you better. And I really know that this is going to encourage someone else. At least my whole goal is, even if it's just one person. And we
Yeah,
appreciate you and I wish you the
you're welcome.
best.
I am
Continue to
so
move
happy.
forward.
I, it's like, I'm like, I'm like, well, yeah, I am, because I've overcome like ton,
Yes,
over,
you've overcome a lot. You've overcome,
yeah,
and we will always have things to overcome. And
yes,
I think, again, it's important to not suffer in our sufferings by ourselves or alone, but to have
yeah,
have a community around us. And I think that's the whole idea too with the Facebook group that I have, that is just, know that you're not alone, that there are others,
Yeah,
and there will be somebody who will listen to you. So,
absolutely.
yeah.
And the thing is I've got into network marketing
Hmm.
and with my jewelry, and I also do Mary Kay,
Okay.
and I also do
We'll put that
Monet.
We'll put those links below. So if people want to help you out, they
Yes,
can help you. Yeah. And guys,
yes,
here's the thing. We don't really have a link yet in this to for donations or whatever. But if anybody
yeah,
wants to help Melissa out, I'll be glad to pass that on. Again, and I said this before, I do this because I feel like it's my calling. It's in the times that we're at, in that we need to encourage one another and to release our sound into the earth. And Melissa has just done that. She has released her story, released her sound in order to encourage others and to bring them hope. And so, well, I'm not doing this, to be a millionaire. There's other things I could do to be a millionaire. It's Melissa too. And
well,
you know what?
I've
But
tried
so
I've tried some and it don't work.
and there's some, right. Well, that's because and we'll talk about this sometimes, because we're not
Yes,
in the lane. We have to be in what we were created to be for and to do. So
yes.
anyway, everybody, thank you so much for joining us here today. Don't forget to hit that thumbs up button, please. Like, subscribe, share, comment, and I will see you on the next one. I'm not sure exactly what it's going to be yet. I have an idea, but I don't want to say yet. So
Oh, okay.
anyway, have a great day, everybody. Ciao. Thanks, Melissa. We'll see you next
You're
time.
welcome. Bye bye.